In the Amazon rainforest, where the soil is supposed to be some of the worst on Earth, explorers found patches of black earth that are thousands of years old. Here is the thing that makes no sense. These patches are growing. Not the plants, the soil itself. Dig out a truckload of this black earth, come back 20 years later, and the hole has refilled. The soil is reproducing. This is not supposed to be possible. Every farmer knows soil dies if you work it too hard. Every biology textbook says tropical rainforest soil is fragile. Nutrients wash away in the rain, and you get maybe 3 good harvests before the land is spent. But this black earth has been producing crops for 2,500 years, and it is still going. The Amazon has the reputation of being a pristine wilderness, untouched. But that black soil did not form naturally. Someone made it. And then we forgot how. Before we continue, if you enjoy documentaries like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let us see how fast we get to 10,000 subscribers in this community. Thank you. In 1540, Spanish explorer Francisco de Orellana traveled down the Amazon River and reported massive cities, paved roads, populations in the millions. He described agricultural systems so advanced they fed entire civilizations in a place where, according to modern science, nothing should grow. Historians called him a liar. They said he was exaggerating to impress the Spanish crown because everyone knew the Amazon soil could not support cities. They were wrong. The natives had not just farmed the Amazon, they had terraformed it. They had manufactured soil that would outlive them by millennia. And then, after European diseases swept through in the 1500s and wiped out up to 90% of the indigenous population, the jungle swallowed the cities. But the soil remained. In 1966, a Dutch soil scientist named Wim Sombroek was doing research in Brazil when he noticed something strange. In the middle of the Amazon, where the natural soil was red, acidic, and nearly sterile, there were patches of black earth that were insanely fertile. The locals called it terra preta, black earth, and they had been quietly using it for generations. Sombroek started digging. Literally. What he found shouldn't exist. The black patches contained 70 times more charcoal than the surrounding soil. Fish bones, pottery shards, evidence of sustained human settlement. But here's what made it impossible. The terra preta wasn't just old fertile soil, it was expanding. At the edges of these black patches, the soil was converting the dead red soil around it into more black earth. It was growing at about 1 centimeter per year. Sombroek published his findings in 1980. He proposed that these weren't natural soil deposits. They were engineered. A pre-Columbian civilization had cracked the code on permanent fertility and then vanished before they could write it down. But if that's true, it means everything we teach about soil is backwards. Modern agriculture is built on a losing game. You plant crops. Crops suck nutrients out of the ground. Soil dies. You dump chemical fertilizers to replace what you took. Repeat until the soil structure collapses entirely. Industrial farming has turned half the world's topsoil into dirt. We lose 75 billion tons of soil every year to erosion and nutrient depletion. The model is, soil dies, you buy more inputs. But terra preta doesn't die. It grows. So what did the Amazonians know that we forgot? The difference comes down to one word. Char, not ash. Char. When modern farmers clear land, they burn it. Complete combustion. The organic matter turns to ash, which washes away in the first rain. Nutrients gone, But the Amazonians didn't burn their waste. They smothered it. Low oxygen, low temperature fires converted wood and plant material into charcoal. Biochar. Here's why that matters. When you burn something completely, you get ash. Ash is minerals. It is dead. But when you smother organic matter into charcoal, you get carbon structures that are basically indestructible, and those structures are porous. Under a microscope, biochar looks like a sponge or a coral reef. It has between 300 and 500 square meters of surface area per gram, and all those tiny pores become housing for microbes. Bacteria move in. Fungi move in. They start breaking down organic matter and locking nutrients into the charcoal structure. The charcoal acts like a battery. It holds nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. It holds water. And because it is chemically stable, it does not break down. It just sits there, feeding the soil, for thousands of years. But here is the part that sounds like science fiction. The microbes do not stay in one place. They expand. As they break down new organic matter at the edges of the biochar patch, they pull that matter into the charcoal network. The terra preta spreads, slowly, but it spreads. That is why excavated patches refill themselves. The microbial community is rebuilding the soil structure from the ground up. The Amazonians did not just add charcoal, they added everything. Fish bones for calcium and phosphorus, broken pottery for aeration and thermal mass, human waste, animal manure, food scraps. They turned their trash into soil. And they did it at scale. Current estimates say terra preta covers 10% of the Amazon basin. That's 150,000 square kilometers of engineered soil. It was built by a civilization that most history books say did not exist. So why do we not do this now? Because we forgot. And admitting we forgot means admitting that industrial agriculture has been selling us a lie for a century. The lie is that soil is a disposable resource. Use it up, move on, buy fertilizer. But terra preta proves soil can be a permanent asset. Make it once, and it feeds your great-grandchildren. The knowledge did not completely disappear. In 2024 and 2025, permaculture communities on Reddit cracked a modern version. They call it the 3-stage method. Stage 1. Mix raw biochar into a bokashi bucket with your kitchen scraps. The anaerobic fermentation charges the charcoal with nutrients immediately, instead of waiting years. Stage 2. Add the fermented mix to a compost tumbler with sand, clay, and rock dust to create stable aggregates. Stage 3. Feed it to composting worms. The worms coat the biochar in mucus and enzymes, creating what one Redditor called bio-refined black earth. The biggest mistake beginners make is adding raw charcoal directly to the garden. Uncharged biochar is hungry. It will suck nitrogen out of your soil like a sponge and kill your plants in year 1. You have to charge it first. Soak it in urine. Mix it with compost. Inoculate it with life. The char is the structure. The microbes are the engine. People are making this in 5-gallon buckets, in apartment composters, and in suburban backyards. It takes 6 to 18 months instead of 500 years, and the results are matching the studies. Higher yields, better water retention. Soil that does not need fertilizer because it is holding everything in place. Here's the broader point. We live in a world that treats soil like a non-renewable resource. We're taught that feeding 10 billion people requires fossil fuel-based fertilizers and monoculture crops that strip the land bare. But 2,000 years ago, a civilization in the Amazon proved that's not true. They built soil that regenerated faster than they could use it, and they did it with charcoal and kitchen waste. The question isn't whether we can do this. We can. The question is why we stopped, and why, for 500 years, we've been told the Amazon couldn't support advanced civilization when the evidence was literally under our feet the entire time. Make this soil once, and it will outlive you. That's not a metaphor. That's chemistry. If you want to see how this connects to other suppressed agricultural methods, hit subscribe. This isn't the only thing they forgot to teach us.